stick around to see the easiest, most adorable kids crafts that will expand your child's imagination and creativity. And it was all inspired by this book. So stay tuned.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I am the activity author and I am here to bring you another book inspired craft. And if you don't know me, I'm Cheryl and I am an author, an educator, and I love to create easy arts and crafts using household items, and I usually create them from books by self-published authors because us independent authors, we got it hard, so we can use all the shine we can get. And I also have games and activities as well. So if you rock with my content and you love creating arts and crafts, how about you go ahead and like this video, because you're gonna like it. I know you will. So go ahead, hit that like button right down there. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because you want to join my creative army, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time that I post. Okay? Okay. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get ready to introduce our book that inspired all of this goodness that you're about to see here today. Today's book is called When I Feel at Home, written by Dia Mixon, illustrated by Ciara Diaz. First, can I just tell you guys that the moment I first laid eyes on this book, I was captivated by the beautiful illustrations, and I love that this book is in Spanglish. Yes, English and Spanish, because I speak a little Spanglish from time to time, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, this book is about Alicia, who is a cute little bilingual Colombian American girl, and she teaches readers how to cope with all of the big feelings that comes up when you are away from home. She shows readers how to use their senses and daily habits to feel more comfortable wherever she is. I love that. And guess what, guys? Both books are available for purchase on Miss Dia's website. And if you follow her Instagram, you can get some direct links to her indie stores that carry her books, such as Mija Books and Stories of a Colorful World. This is Dia's second book. Did you guys know that her first book, One Whole Me, recently won an International Latino Book Award for Best Children's Nonfiction Picture Book in English? Wow, that is a huge accomplishment, Dia. So guys, if you are thinking about writing a book, Dia wants you to know that she could advise you on, publishing your book. Because, after all, she did write 2 books. And I would say that is pretty impressive. For obvious reasons, you know what I'm saying, okay? But anyway, guys, so seriously, this book deserves to be in the hands of so many families. So if you know anybody that loves the Hispanic culture, Latino culture, and would love to celebrate this book, please forward this video, send this book information, because I know your child will just love this book. Gorgeous book. So now that you guys got a little backstory on today's book, I can't wait to show you these fun crafts that I created inspired by this book. So like I always say, let's get crafty. Now y'all know how I always do. I'm gonna start y'all off with the easiest craft on our journey, okay? So this book is always talking about homes. So I figured we're gonna make a villa out of a cup or a flower pot. Something very simple. All you would need for this craft is to paint your cup or your flower pot, then decorate it with a Sharpie, with some markers, or even some paint. I use paint. And then putting everything on the house once it's dry that reminds you of your home. Once this is dry, you want to go ahead and decorate your house with everything that reminds you of home. This craft right here is a great way to help kids reflect and show gratitude for everything they have in their lives. And I even think this would be a great craft to do at a classroom event, because what you could do is just switch the paint for markers and the kids can take it home that same day. So hope you guys do this craft. I had a lot of fun, and look at how great they turned out. So beautiful. I'm gonna have this one decorating my yard with the flower pot. So one thing that stood out on this page was this beautiful bird, and I could not get it out of my mind, so I knew we just had to make it. You put the bird together with some music, and I think that's a place I would love to call home. So what you're gonna do is, I have sketched out this little shape of a bird, basically a snowman shape. I'm going to fold it in half so that way I can cut out 2 little birds and 1 big mama bird. Very simple. Then you can go outside and get some pine straws or leaves or whatever you can find, because you know that's how birds make their nests. That's how you can explain it to the kids. They go outside, they find anything in nature, they build their homes. You can even use scrap paper as well. And because we actually made this project on a reel that I just released on this channel, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. But you guys can make your nest out of whatever you want. So these are just 2 ideas for you. This is just a coffee filter that I dyed a while ago, and I always just keep them on hand because they come in handy. As you can see, if you've been following this channel, you see that I pretty much put a coffee filter in any craft. I can work it in there. So this is going to be our sun, and we're going to cut some more rays out, and my daughter's going to stick that on the sun. And then last but not least, we just got to add the music. So I found this car marker at Dollar Tree, so we're going to go ahead and use this. We're going to dab the perfect circle by just putting it on the paper, or you guys can use a pom-pom ball as well. For the clouds, we're going to use these cotton circles. And because we put them on, they didn't look cloudy enough, so we went ahead and stretched a few of them and just laid them on top. And then add the stems to your music notes. You can make them 1/8 notes, quarter notes, whatever you want, guys. It's music that the mama is singing to the babies. And the last element to tie this all in together is make this house a home by adding some love. So I cut out some hearts, put it on the paper, and we have a beautiful bird nest home. That one turned out so cute. And parents, when your little one makes that craft, make sure you tag me here on my Instagram, okay? I would love to see what your little ones created, and I want to also celebrate and share it on my page as well. So let's go ahead and move to the next craft. So for our next craft, it was inspired by this scene in the book. And of course, mangoes make a special appearance all throughout this book, so we had to feature them in this craft. I'm always about reusing old crafts, so we're going to use the coffee filter that I dyed previously, and then we had this scrap piece left off when I made some earth crafts in my last book inspired video. You can see that right here. Click the card up top. So I cut that to make a canoe shape, and then I'm going to go ahead and layer the coffee filter on top, and that will make our boat. Going to make the water just pop out at you because, like I said, 3-dimensional is my style. So we're gonna accordion fold this to make the water stick out. And we still got some strap pieces left over. We're gonna go ahead and make our tree out of the brown pieces of strap paper from our previous craft before this. Now, I was going to make the leaves of our tree by doing a leaf printing activity, but then I went outside and I saw my little Gerber daisy plant just hanging on for dear life. So I said, you know what? These kind of remind me of mango leaves. So we're going to cut some of these. We're going to glue them onto our tree, and then we're just going to add the mangoes on top of that. Now, if you want to see how I did some leaf printing, I could click a card up top to show you, and that's a fun activity I love to do in the fall. And if you don't want to go outside and get leaves, you can always make the leaves out of construction paper. That's very simple. So silly me, I accidentally glued the wrong side because I actually wanted this side to show in this craft. So I mean, it's reversible, you can use any side you want, but when I look at it, my daughter said, I like this side. And I was like, you know what? I like this side too, because it looks like the water is just splashing on the boat. So like I always say, there's no mistakes in art. It's always in the eye of the beholder, and this one worked out just as well. We added a Q-tip to be the oar in our boat. And then to do the mangoes, I'm just going to use some orange and yellow paint together. Take another Q-tip, and we're just going to dab on some mangoes on our tree. And this is the final product. You could also use pom-pom balls as well if you would like to. And we use some paper towels for the sand. And that is it. Now look, 3 days later, and the leaves are still holding up so nicely. They have not wilted or anything. They just have this nice, pretty finish. Yes, that craft was so cool. It makes me think of that song, Cake by the Ocean, but we're not having cake. We're having mangoes by the ocean. Love it. Alright, so we had to finish off this video with maracas because they were all up and through this book. Now, I would be lying if I didn't tell y'all this was a process, but a fun process indeed. So I really hope you guys create this one. You're going to need some salt, some flour, some newspaper, and I realized, guys, newspaper was in this book too, so that's perfect that we use newspaper. We're gonna do a little paper mache, so you're gonna need some balloons, and then of course you're gonna need your beans and your rice. Everything is in the description box below, so don't worry if I miss telling you something, but just have all your ingredients, and it's really not that hard at all. So you're gonna go ahead and take your bowl. You're gonna put 2 cups of flour in it. But something you should do before you make the paper mache, you're going to tear off a lot of sheets of that newspaper, because you want to have that done so that when you make your paper mache mixture, you are ready to go. So there's me and my daughter ripping up all these papers, and I like to rip it in long strips like this. I feel it's better to wrap around and it's easier to maneuver when you do it that way. But my daughter, of course, you know, she's only 4, so she ripped it the best way she could, honey. And I realized it was the first time she got to see what a newspaper was. So she was reading the newspaper and everything. All right, so back to that mixture. You're going to use 2 cups of flour. And then you're going to use about 14 ounces of water. So this is a 16-ounce bottle of water for your reference. And we basically had a little bit left over. So we did not completely use all of that water. Then you're going to add about a tablespoon of salt. I did not feel like going back downstairs for another tablespoon, so we eyeballed it, honey. Then you're going to stir this all together until you get all the clumps and lumps out of it. You want it to be very, very smooth. And what we ended up doing is we stirred it and we let it sit. So while we let it sit, we're going to go ahead and stuff those paper towel rolls. Just because it's going to be the stem of a maracas, and we don't want the beans to go in the stem. That's not going to work. So we want it to be a nice solid shape. I'm going to tape one side of it. So therefore, this is going to be the side that's going to be closest to our actual maraca ball. And this part right here, I could tape it, but then honestly, I'm going to cover it with paper mache. So I'm just going to leave it alone. So now you want to go ahead and get your beans and rice, and you're going to put them in your balloon. You could use a funnel. That would make this easier, but hey, I had another set of hands here, so we're going to go ahead and use Dad. He's going to hold open the balloon, and Kimmy is going to put the beans inside. And you want to fill it up as much as you can. I filled it about 3/4 of the way. Then we're going to fill up the rest of the balloon with some rice. Now keep in mind, we're going to blow this balloon up, so it's going to have room to shake, so don't worry. And after you got it all full, just like we have right here, you're going to blow it up, and then you're going to tie it. Now you don't want to make your balloon too big, so we basically used, we just held it up like this to see a guide to see how big because however big you're going to make the balloon, that's how big your maracas are going to be. So if you want supersized maracas, blow that thing up, but we didn't want it too big. So we have a nice medium-sized maraca. And now you're going to tape the balloon to the paper towel roll. I got frustrated the first time I did it because I was like, it's not sticking. So I just taped this thing all over. And guess what, guys? Look, it doesn't even matter because we're going to cover this whole thing with paper mache and no one's going to see this tape. So you can quickly do it like I just did, or you can, I took a couple deep breaths and realized that I could actually tape it on normally like this. So there you go. While we did that, our mixture was able to settle. I mean, it still has a teeny bit of lumps, but for the most part, it's very liquidy. And this is how much water I had left over. So that's why I said you're not going to use a whole 16-ounce bottle of water. And trust me, I did not. That's not brand new water. That's water from the sink, child. But this is the consistency you want on your paper mache. You want it to be very liquidy. Think of like pancake mixture almost. That's what I can compare it to. So now the fun part, you're going to take your strip of newspaper. You're going to dip it in the paper mache. You're going to smooth it on out like this so you don't have too much paper mache, and you're just going to stick it on your balloon. We're going to start with the balloon first and work our way down to the stem, and then just make sure everything is covered up. Now we ended up doing this whole thing one time, then we let it sit for a whole day, so it had to dry for about 24 hours, and then after that we were able to paint and decorate it. So I would suggest doing a few layers of paper mache. That's why we tore so many newspaper strips, and just once you cover it all up, just go over it again like you see I'm doing here. This is my second layer because I want this to last and I want to be able to play with it and have it at shows to show everybody. So I made sure this thing was sturdy, honey. Now if you make a lot of layers, it may end up being a little heavy, but hey, I'd rather it be usable and reusable than use it one time and it falls apart. This is the type of paint I'm going to use. Got it from Walmart, and I'm going to make it some beautiful tropical colors. After the paint was done, we just finished it off with another window marker. We had it in white this time, and that thing, you see how it just makes the perfect circles? I love a good dabber, and this is what it sounds like. Those maracas turned out so gorgeous, didn't they? That's why they were my favorite, and I saved the best for last. So I think you guys should definitely create that one because those maracas will last so long and you can use them and have so much fun and make so much music around the house. So if you like the crafts you see here today, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post. I try to post every Sunday, but sometimes I'm off a day or two. So you definitely have to be notified when I post and you don't want to miss it, okay? If you are an author out there and you want me to make some crafts with your book, definitely hit me up. My information is in the description box below. Email me and we can talk about it if you want to make a reel or if you would like to make a YouTube video or a little bit of both. I got you. So definitely hit me up. So guys, I want to thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Do not forget, before we go, check out our author for today, Miss Dia Mixon. Make sure you guys go to her social medias, subscribe, make sure you buy her books. Everything is linked in the description box below. And make sure you guys share this video with someone who loves to create, because I know you have a friend, family, babysitter, teacher, mother, daughter, someone that would love to create my crafts. They're super easy and super fun, okay? Don't leave just yet. I have over 150 more videos that you can check out on my channel and about 45 more like this. So go ahead and click that next video right there to keep the party going. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.